Women in Africa are often deprived of education, so Educate makes sure to give young women equal opportunity when applying for Educate sponsorship. Our female students are extremely talented, and we hope they will one day become the leaders of tomorrow in a society that has favored males. Uwera excels academically and is taking physics and chemistry simultaneously, which few dare to do. She dreams of one day becoming a doctor. Uwera is also proud to play striker on her school's soccer team. One of the youngest Educate students, Uwera is in her first year of secondary school and is just beginning to learn English. She comes from a rural village in the hills of Rwanda, where her family and neighbors have been farming for hundreds of years. They have never had the hope of sending their children to school. When I visited Uwera and the other Educate students in 2005, it was not only apparent how thankful Uwera was for the opportunity Educate was giving her, but her whole village gathered to thank Educate for sending one of their children to school. Okay.
She said that the Educate assist her a lot, and the Educate does not assist her, also he assists her family because they are poor. They can't afford to pay for her school fees, uniforms, and some other school requirements. But for you assist a lot to fund all of that, while his families can't afford it.
Although Educate students now lead good lives, there was a time when many of them went through incredible hardships. It is difficult for them to retell their past, but one student stands out in my mind, for he is truly a testament to the resiliency of the human spirit. Jean-Pierre Habanabakizi was one of the first Educate students. He is a 21-year-old refugee from Rwanda. Over the past 3 years that he has been studying as an Educate student, I have learned that during the 1994 genocide in Rwanda, when his entire family was killed, he had to flee to Burundi and then Uganda to miraculously save his own life. I met him in Kyangwali refugee camp in 2002. Jean-Pierre had made a beautiful picture from the bark of a banana tree that depicted Benson and me filming Dream Deferred. We became friends through his artwork, and when I started Educate, he became one of our first students. With Educate's help, he returned home to Rwanda, where he studied to become a civil engineer. During one of his holidays, Jean-Pierre returned to the area where he was born. He inquired with an old neighbor who told Jean-Pierre that his stepmother and 2 stepsisters had survived the genocide and were living across the street. 9 years since they had last seen each other, Jean-Pierre showed up on the doorstep of his long-lost stepmother. They both thought the other had died during the genocide. He now refers to her and his stepsisters as his new family. Jean-Pierre is the first Educate student to graduate from secondary school. Upon graduating, he found volunteer work with Engineers Without Borders and helped a delegation from the University of Colorado build a water purification system for an all-girls school in rural Rwanda. Jean-Pierre will be attending university soon under Educate, where he will continue his path towards becoming an engineer. In his words, "One day I hope to build bridges like those in California and Washington, D.C." Here Jean-Pierre explains his final project for secondary school, the complete plans for the construction of a road in the hills of Rwanda.
Such area, then you have to make this plan. And this is a topographic area. And from this you calculate a slope for each area. And you find that these are hills, these are the valley, like this.
Jean-Pierre embodies what Educate hopes to accomplish. We provide our students with an education and everything else they need to lead good lives, with the hope that one day they will become leaders of the fight against the much larger problems of poverty, disease, and war that exist in Africa. Jean-Pierre's work with Engineers Without Borders is a perfect example of Educate's goal. Providing our students with the skills to improve Africa is as simple and inexpensive as allowing them to attend school, eat 3 meals per day, and live in safety. By completely changing the life of one individual at a time through education, Educate creates a large, long-term impact that helps to solve the widespread problems that Africa is facing.
The one which is economic than the longest